I'm Amy Duckworth from Empower Admissions Consulting, and welcome to Inside Admissions. Today I'm joined by David Simpson from London Business School. Hi, David.
Hi, great to be here, Amy. Great to see you. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, you're very welcome. My pleasure. So tell me a bit about yourself. How long have you been at LBS and what's your role there?
Oh, goodness. So I've been with London Business School a very long time and very much a proud London Business School staff member. I am Recruitment and Admissions Director for the MBA programme, the Masters in Finance, and the new one-year MBA programme with the prerequisite for people who've already taken Masters in Management early in their career. So that's my new programme to work on, but I work in admissions with the Admissions Committee, the Scholarships Committees, and I work on press and PR and various different initiatives. And yeah, I've been with London Business School most of my career. Absolutely love my time here. It's very much in my blood.
So we're going to focus on your traditional MBA. I know you said you manage a few different programs, but we'll focus on the traditional MBA for this interview, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll start off with some rapid fire questions. Then we'll do a deep dive into one specific area of the admissions process, and we'll finish off with some myth busting.
Great.
Okay, so rapid fire, off we go. What is the length of your program?
Our MBA program is 15 to 21 months, so a traditional sort of 2-year program, but with the ability to fast track and exit at earlier points.
And what's the average cohort size?
So the MBA program typically is between 430 and 500 students.
And what's the number of years work experience required for the traditional MBA?
So within the MBA, we have quite a broad range of experience, actually, like most top business schools. The average is about 5.5 years, the range. Typically, no one's getting into the program with less than 2 years, 2 to 3 years.
And what's the percentage of international candidates in your cohort?
Yeah, so this is a real strength of London Business School. 90% of our students are international.
And what's the age of the oldest and the youngest student in your most recent cohort?
Yeah, so typically the experience range is 2 to 15 years, roughly speaking. So right now it's 2 to 13 years.
Yeah, okay. And what about GMAT or GRE? What's the average in your cohort?
So right now in the class, the average GMAT and the old system is 702. So 700 equates to about 655 on the new GMAT scoring system. And candidates, about 25% of our candidates take GRE. And the score we're looking for there is over 160 in each element.
Okay. And do you require a personal or a video interview as part of the admissions process?
We do actually, yeah. So for anybody who gets to the interview stage, they'll be interviewed by alumni or senior staff, and the majority will be alumni locally wherever they are in the world. But we ask everybody selected for interview to also submit a video via our Kira partnership.
And what's the question that you get asked the most at the interview or during the admissions process?
Interesting. So I think when I'm interviewing applicants, many people will pick up on the fact that I've been at the school for a long time. So ask, what keeps you at London Business School, which I'm able to say, I absolutely love the place. I'm very fortunate to work for such an amazing institution with a great reputation, but mainly just because I meet fantastic candidates and students over the years and stay connected with them. So I'm in a very fortunate position. But then generally speaking, people's questions about what it's like to be a student on the program. So what's it like in the classroom and outside the classroom and club activities? And the answer I usually give to that is, let me introduce you to some students or alumni because they're best placed to tell you.
Of course, yeah. And last two quickfire questions. Who is the chair of your admissions committee?
So I'm chair of the admissions committee as admissions director.
And can you tell me a particularly famous or successful alum of your program?
Yeah, we have quite a few famous alum and of course many successful alumni. I'll maybe pick Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who is the chair and CEO of Ineos. He's also, of course, the part owner of Manchester United right now.
Brilliant, thank you. We're now going to go on to the deep dive section of our interview, and I'd like to talk about what makes a candidate really stand out in the admissions process. I know one of your essay questions is kind of linked to this. It's what makes you unique. So I'm just interested to get your perspective. Obviously, you kind of read a lot of applications, you meet a lot of candidates. What makes someone really stand out to you?
I think that this is an interesting question. What makes someone stand out? Sometimes people think they need to make themselves sound quirky, or they think, well, my job is very traditional. How can I look different? You can only be what you are. So the more people stick to telling their story, the easier it
Mm.
is for us to get a clear picture of who you are, what you've done, and what you may be able to contribute. So we added the what makes you unique question just to give people an opportunity to do a bit of creative writing, as well as the more formal essay that we've had forever that we love, which is tell us why you want to do an MBA and how the LBS MBA is going to help you get to your career aspirations. So the most important thing is just clarity, telling your story.
And you mentioned creativity. So is that something that you're looking for in the responses to that question, that what makes you unique? I know that they've only got 200 words, which is really short. Any tips for candidates tackling that question?
Yeah, in all honesty, don't be too don't try and be too quirky. Unique, everyone's unique. We're all unique just by the nature of the things that make up our background and personality. So it's not about quirky, it's about telling your story. And actually, when you stop and think, well, here's this about me, here's this about me, there's some interesting things. It's a short question, and therefore we give it the right amount of attention. It's just another opportunity to tell us something a little bit different about yourself. The most important questions will always be about your career performance and achievements so far and what you hope to do. This is just a different kind of opportunity within that.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Thank you, David. And I think that's really good advice for anyone tackling those essay questions. Okay, we are now going to finish off with some myth busting. I've got 3 statements about MBA admissions, and I'm looking for a yay or a nay from you, David. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, so number 1, there aren't really any places left in the final round.
That's not at all true. We would not have different rounds of admissions if we didn't use them. So for us, the final round is super important, and we get some great candidates joining the class from that group.
Okay. Number 2, you need to build out your interests and hobbies outside of work for your MBA application.
This is a depends what you've done question. So you don't need to build it out, you just need to tell your story. So where you are. Some people have loads of outside activities. Some people work very, very long hours and don't. So just tell us about you. You don't need to invent things. But it's another opportunity to tell us something quite interesting and how you pass your time. It tells us a bit more. Again, don't go for quirky. Just tell us what you genuinely like doing today. Don't look back at what you did at school and many years ago. Talk about who you are and what you do right now.
And final question, you need to have management experience to apply for an MBA.
Not necessarily true. You want to be building towards being a leader in the long term, and it depends where people are in their career so far. If you're 2 or 3 years in, you might not have management experience. If you're 10 plus years, you might have lots.
Well, that's all we've got time for. Thank you so much for joining us, David. It's been really interesting talking to you. If you want to know more about the LBS MBA, you can find lots of videos on MBA Tube. There are interviews with alumni, students, members of faculty. You can also find lots of information about the programme, about the careers service. So do have a look at those. For guidance on all things admissions, you can follow Empower Admissions Consulting, and you can reach out to us for one-to-one guidance on your MBA applications. And that's all we've got time for. Thank you.
Thanks so much. It's been a real pleasure.